Welcome students. So in today's class we shall be starting with the new topic of metabolism of creatine. So creatine is another important amino acid that is quite responsible for generation of many byproducts, such as another we can say amino acid known as creatinine. So how these various derivatives of creatine are formed and how creatine is synthesized. So let us start with, first of all, the synthesis of creatine. The creatine is synthesized from arginine and glycine. So arginine comes from the urea cycle. So first of all, let us draw the structure of arginine. Keep in mind that arginine comes from the urea cycle. So this is the structure of arginine. So arginine and glycine, they together lead to formation of guanidoacetate molecule. So now let us draw the structure of glycine. So this is the structure for glycine. Remember that glycine is the simplest form of amino acid. So this is glycine. So they lead to formation of guanidoacetate molecule. So this is the structure of guanidoacetate molecule. Name it as guanidoacetate. Whereas the arginine leads to completion of the urea cycle here. And ornithine it goes back into the urea cycle, giving back again arginine. So from guanidoacetate, it is leading to formation of creatine. But before that, we must be knowing that how the condensation of arginine and glycine occurs. It occurs in presence of enzyme arginine glycine transaminidase. Arginine glycine transamidinase. So it is a transamidation reaction where there is a transfer of amide group. So from guanidoacetate, in presence of guanidoacetate methyl transferase, so there is transfer of methyl or transmethylation is occurring. So in presence of enzyme guanidoacetate, methyl transferase and in presence of S-adenosylmethionine, it is converted into S-adenosyl homocysteine and ultimately leads to formation of creatine. Now let us see the structure of creatine. So here is the transmethylation, the methyl group is attached here. So this is the structure of creatine. So this is how creatine is synthesized. So from creatine, in presence of creatine kinase, another molecule of creatine phosphate is formed. So this is a reversible reaction and it leads to formation of creatine kinase. Creatine phosphate in presence of enzyme creatine kinase. So the name of enzyme is creatine kinase and a utilization of ATP is done. During formation of creatine phosphate. So how this is occurring, let us draw the structure of creatine phosphate now. So this is the structure of creatine phosphate. Now from creatine, by removal of one water molecule, so by dehydration reaction, it leads to formation of creatinine. It leads to formation of creatinine. So this is the structure of creatinine. Creatinine, and this is also formed from creatine phosphate by removal of one inorganic phosphate. So dephosphorylation may lead to formation of creatinine, and the creatinine is further excreted out from urine. So students, this was all regarding the metabolism of creatinine and creatine. So let us also understand the values of creatine and creatinine in serum and urine. These are having the biochemical importance. In serum, the creatine levels are around 0.2 to 0.6 milligram per deciliter, and the levels of creatinine are around 0.6 to 1 milligram per deciliter, whereas in urine the levels of creatine are around 0 to 50 milligram per deciliter, and creatinine its levels are 1 to 2 gram per deciliter per day. So these are per day. So the estimation of serum creatinine is used as a diagnostic test for assessing the kidney function. So this gives the renal function or kidney function diagnosis. So it is a more reliable indicator of the renal function. So students, this was all regarding the metabolism of creatinine. So I hope now it is clear to you all how this creatinine formation occurs.